In this video, I'm going to demonstrate what a variable is, an identifier. I'm going to talk about C++ keywords, literals, and assignment statements. So let's just start off with some terminology. Variables in C++ are just like variables in algebra. In algebra, if you say x plus 5, x is a variable. In C++, as a programmer, you have to come up with a name for your variables. You could use x, but we like to use things that are a little bit more meaningful. In this program, my variable name is number, because it's going to hold a number. So I'm the programmer. I determine what the name of the variable is going to be. We'll learn a little bit more about this variable declaration later in the chapter. This is just saying that number is going to be an integer. Variables have to follow rules for what are called identifiers. Identifiers are names that programmer gives to something. So an example is a programmer will name a variable. A programmer might name a constant. A programmer might name a function. But for right now, we're only talking about variables. The rules for variables are they have to start with letters, in this case n, or underscores. So you could do something like that, but that's not very common. And they have to be made up of letters, numbers, and underscores. So number 1 would be a valid identifier, whereas one number would not be, because it can't start with a number. You cannot say number 1, because you can't have spaces in your identifiers. You can only have letters, numbers, and underscores. Some programmers like to use this. If they want to say number 1, which are 2 words, they put an underscore between them. That's a preference of some programmers. And some programmers like to use this type of this type of variable name, where if they have 2 words, they put them together and capitalize the second word. You will notice in C++ that most of the time things are in lowercase. C++ is case sensitive, so if you had number 1 and later on you tried to use number 1, the compiler would see them as 2 completely different things. That's called being case sensitive. So if you use a variable name like number 1, you need to be consistent throughout. So I'm going to go back, I'm going to change this to my original variable name of number. And what I'm doing in this statement, this is called an assignment statement. An assignment statement always has a variable on the left followed by an equal sign, which in C++ is called the assignment operator, and it assigns it a value. In this case, we're taking 5 and we're putting it in this variable number on the left-hand side. This is the syntax of an assignment statement. Variable, assignment operator. Over here you can have any type of C++ expression. In this case we're just putting the 5 in, and it's followed by a semicolon. Also, it's important to note that 5 is what's called a literal value or a constant value. It's just the number 5. It's not a variable. Okay, so we've learned about output statements, and I just want to demonstrate here. This will say the value of number is, this is a string, so this is actually going to display the word number. Down here it'll say the value of the number is, and this number is a variable, so this is going to display the contents of the variable. Let's see what it looks like. See how it says the value of number is number, this is the string, and the value of the number is 5. The first one displayed the string, the second one displayed the contents of that variable. If we change our variable, we could assign it a new value of 7, let's say, and then I output the value of that variable again. You'll see what happens when I run my program. It says the value of the number is 5, that was initially, and then the value of the number is 7. So that's the syntax. We've explained what a variable is. It can change the value. I've explained identifier syntax and rules, and assignment statements. Also the term literal.